For more MTG resources and articles, check out paperchampion.net.
Hey everybody, this is Tao of Chow with MTG Forge, and there have been some recent Aether Revolt spoilers, and I wanted to go and talk about them. Now, I normally produce videos every Sunday, but since these just recently came out, I thought I'd maybe do a quick video just seeing what I thought of these. Now, being that these are the first spoilers, they're trying to generate hype, and so they're actually revealing a lot of the things that are pretty good. So all of these are going to be pretty good just because they're the first spoilers. No one's going to reveal like the crap from their deck, like all the draft chaff and stuff like that, and be like, hey, get excited about this. Alright, but anyways, let's get into it. So we're going to start with Quicksmith Rebel. Quicksmith Rebel is 3 of anything and a red for a 3/2. Now, that's not that great. Like, it's okay, but, you know, not really on curve. But when Quicksmith Rebel enters the battlefield, target artifact you control gains tap. This artifact deals 2 damage to target creature or player for as long as you control Quicksmith Rebel. Now, that's actually pretty huge. Right, so getting an artifact that can just repeatedly tap for 2 damage is pretty insane. And I wonder if there's a way to maybe combine this with like Pilla or something like that in Modern to make something really cool. I'll have to take a look at that and maybe look at it for a future deck. But I'd say, yeah, this should be a rare. It's pretty powerful. Unless there's a ton of artifact destruction and stuff like that, so maybe it's not that bad. But especially in this deck, in this block, there's so many artifacts, so I think this is going to be a big one. Scrap Trawler. So whenever Scrap Trawler is a 3 mana 3/2. Whenever Scrap Trawler or another artifact you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, return to your hand target artifact card in your graveyard with lesser converted mana cost. Now, one of the things with this is it's not just Scrap Trawler going to the battlefield, or going to the graveyard. It's Scrap Trawler or another artifact. So any other artifact can actually return another artifact with lesser converted mana cost. This has potential to get really broken with some types of recursion, right? So, for instance, you could use something like Archon Ravager, and then sacrifice a 1 mana artifact, and then sacrifice a 2 mana artifact, getting the 1 mana back, and then a 3 mana artifact, getting the 2 mana back, and then sacrificing that 2 mana, getting the 1 back, and so on and so forth. So I think Wizards got to be really careful with this Scrap Trawler, because its potential for abuse is very, very high, depending on how it looks or how it goes there. Next one is Trophy Mage. So Trophy Mage is 2 of anything and a blue for a 2/2, so the body is pretty good. When Trophy Mage enters the battlefield, you may search your library for an artifact card with converted mana cost 3, reveal it and put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. So, Trophy Mage, I think, in Modern anyways, has potential to be really broken as well, because it's like a basic artifact tutor, that's really kind of crazy. But also, Trophy Mage can search for Scrap Trawler, right? So that's again, there might be some synergy there depending on what's coming out, but overall, that's another pretty powerful card. The one thing I think that they could have done better with Trophy Mage is not call it Trophy Mage, because especially there's a girl on the front and people are going to be like, oh, it's a trophy wife and blah blah blah, and so there's enough SJW stuff going around where people are complaining about all sorts of stuff like that. They could have just avoided it by putting it like a different picture or just calling it something else. Anyways, Henny's Expertise is 2 mana and 2 black for a sorcery. All creatures get -3/-3 till end of turn, and you may cast a card with converted mana cost 3 or less from your hand without paying its mana cost. Now, personally, I think this card is kind of broken. It's pretty powerful. You're getting 7 mana worth of cards out for only 4 mana, and you're doing it all at once. Being able to cast this. You can do this in turn 3, maybe even turn 4, or maybe turn 4, maybe even turn 3, and that's going to almost wipe the board, getting -3/-3 for everything, right? So that's a lot, and then being able to just cast a card for free, that's just total value. I can't believe this is just a rare. This is I personally think this should be a mythic, because it's just so good. This, I think, is going to be I think it's going to be a pretty amazing card. Now, yeah, they did make it a little harder to cast using the double black, but, you know, I don't know. I think it's just going to be like a really, really great card. Right, so anyways, the next one is Ajani Unyielding. So 4 of anything, a green and a white, so 6 mana total for a 4 loyalty planeswalker. Okay, so his +2 is reveal the top 3 cards of your library, put all non-land permanent cards revealed this way into your hand, and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. Alright, that is a stupidly good ability. Alright, so being able to just pay or get a +2 loyalty and then basically almost drawing 3 cards just without lands. So you're casting a Johnny for 6, meaning that you're probably not going to need lands at this point anyways, which means that, you know, this whole non-land permanent thing is just really kind of stupid because you don't really care about the land permanents anyways at this time. Like, well, you probably, like, you always care about land, but I mean, like, really, when you have 6 mana out, like, you know, it's not like you're dying for more necessarily. So I think this is like a pretty powerful ability. The second one, the -2, exile target creature, just flat out exile target creature. Its controller gains life equal to its power. Well, if you can exile basically every second turn, like, again, that's pretty powerful. So Ajani, like, he can draw his owner or his controller a lot of cards, but he can also basically just start protecting himself. Like, this has got to be dealt with immediately. Okay, so the -9 is put 5 +1/+1 counters on each creature you control, and 5 loyalty counters on each other planeswalker you control. Well, that's an auto include basically in most Super Friends decks. Yeah, I think that's a pretty crazy ability. Now, admittedly, most of the ultimate abilities for planeswalkers are already pretty good. The Ajani Unyielding ultimate is, you know, pretty sweet. Now, I don't know, like, being 6 mana in Modern, I'm not sure how good that's going to be. In Standard, I think it will be very good because Standard's a little bit of a slower format, and so I think Ajani Unyielding will be very strong in Standard. Okay, the last one is Heart of Kiran. So that's a legendary artifact vehicle, 2 mana for a 4/4, created with Crew 3, and here's the cool thing about it. You may remove a loyalty counter from a planeswalker you control rather than pay Heart of Kiran's crew cost. So basically, a planeswalker can pilot this thing by himself. Now, the interesting thing, though, is that it doesn't use up the planeswalker's turn, right? So you can, as far as I know anyways, so you could still +2 Ajani and then also take one, like, use the Heart of Kiran's ability to take off one and still crew it. And then you get a 4/4 for 2. You know, and with flying and vigilance, and that's pretty good. So anyways, there's great synergies here, especially between Ajani and Heart of Kiran, and between Scrap Trawler and Trophy Mage. Yahani's expertise is just, like, really super powerful. And like I said, Quicksmith Rebel, again, a pretty powerful ability as well. So all of these are, you know, are really great cards. They'll almost certainly see constructed play, you know, but we'll see how it goes. Anyways, I hope you like what I had to say about these spoilers. If you have comments about them, please throw them into the comment list. If you do like these videos, remember to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. It's that time again for a random card review. Let's click on random card and see what we get. So today we're going to get Village Elder. Okay, so this is a common from Mirage. Okay, and what's this? Oh, Battle Royale. Okay, so Village Elder is a 1 mana for a 1/1. That's not too bad, but let's see. So you need to pay one green and tap Village Elder, sacrifice a forest, regenerate target creature. That's pretty awful, right? So let's just zoom this in so you guys can see this here. Okay, well, first, like, that's just like a stupid, awful ability, right? So sacrifice a forest, regenerate target creature. Sacrifice a forest? Are you kidding me? Right? So like why would you just rather, like, chump block with this guy instead of sacking a forest? Like, I don't know, like, maybe back in the day as a Mirage you had an abundance of forests, but I don't know. I think this is a terrible card. I wouldn't even give it a 2. I would maybe give it a 1. Anyways, that's my random card review for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.